Hello everyone, I'm gonna give it a second and make sure I'm live in the group. Let me see. Okay, we're good. So I'll go ahead and get started so you don't have to wait. Make sure this is pulled up. Okay, so holiday cooking with essential oils. If you haven't used oils in cooking, you're really missing out on some awesome, easy flavor. I love cooking with oils, baking with oils, along with, of course, drinking our citrus oils every day. But they're extremely beneficial and simple to use. So I'm going to go over a few tips and how you can use these coming up in your holiday recipes or just in daily use as well. So why do we want to use oils in the kitchen? So for one, of course, they're simple to use, like I said. Great flavor, super easy. You're going to use less than you would with your dried herbs. Cost effective. So like lemon, for example, is what, $11 a bottle, and you get 250 drops. It comes out to be about 4 to 5 cents a drop. So super cheap to use, and you're not going to buy an herb or spice that you're not going to use, but for one or two recipes, and then it sits on your shelf and it's wasted. So instead, you just have your essential oils, and you're able to use it whenever you need, and they last way longer than your herbal counterpart. So therapeutic benefits, this is great because we're still going to get some internal benefits when we use oils in our cooking. For example, like healthy digestion, we can help cleanse the body as well, support healthy function of our body systems, great for antioxidants and our other internal benefits like that. So again, they last longer. So usually our herbs might only last 1 to 2 years before we're actually supposed to toss them, or they start clumping together, and you can't even use the spice anymore. So again, they last longer and we love them. So some tips on baking. You see the graphic to the right that these are our most popular ones that you might use in baking. There are other ones, of course. We just need to look for our supplement facts label. So on the side of the bottle, you're going to see your supplements fact just like you would for food. So this is going to tell us that it's safe for internal use. So if you don't see that label, it's not recommended for internal use, so I would not take it. So 50 to 70 times more potent than our herbs. So you're going to use a lot less than you would with your regular cooking. So instead of like 1 tablespoon of herbs, you're definitely not going to use ever a tablespoon of essential oil. So start less than you would, and then you can also use a dropper if needed, if you're wanting like a really precise drop without going an extra drop or two. That can happen because our oils do have different viscosity levels, like especially our citrus oils. You probably notice that they come out faster than your thicker oils like even ginger or clove. So you can also put a drop on a spoon and then get your dropper in the oil from the spoon and then put it into your food that way if you want, again, more precise drops. But otherwise, just turn your citrus oils to like a 90-degree angle so it comes out a little slower. And then your thicker oils, you might almost put completely upside down to get those oils to come out easier. Oh, and then our toothpick method. So for our spicy oils like clove, cinnamon, you can also use a toothpick method, and you're just going to literally put the toothpick down in the essential oil bottle through that little hole at the top, and then swirl it around, and then you can swirl it in your food, like your cake mix or whatever, that way. So here's some conversions. This is going to be basically the same for baking or cooking. So besides, I forgot to put some of the hot oils for cooking on here. But anyway, so zest of your citrus oils. We're going to use a good bit. I would start with the lesser amount, 8 to 14 drops of essential oil. 1 teaspoon of our juice. You can do about 1 drop. 1 teaspoon of extract, which is usually a lot stronger, like our peppermint extract, or I guess there's lemon extract and stuff like that. So I would probably start with less, maybe around the 8 number as well, unless you're using citrus oil. But if you're using a spicy oil, stronger oil like peppermint, I definitely would not probably use 16 drops unless you're making a very large amount of food or dessert. Half a teaspoon of dried herbs is about 1 drop. 1 tablespoon of dried herbs is about 2 drops. So you see, you use a lot less, and it's cheaper that way. So our hot oils, cinnamon, peppermint, clove, cassia, ginger. We can also use the toothpick method we just discussed, or you can just start with 1 drop. I've never had a problem where I felt like anything was too strong with just 1 drop, so you're usually pretty good with that when it comes to baking. So these are some of the recipes I found on doTERRA's website. All you do is, once you don't even have to log in, you can just do the search tab at the top and search for brownies or cookies or anything like that. And there's seriously some great recipes that you can look up, and gives you some ideas of how you can use the oils in your baking or cooking. And these were some of the ones that I found that were pretty much kind of holiday themed, but there are literally hundreds in the back office for you to, or your website for you to look at these. So 2 to 4 drops of peppermint, spearmint, or wild orange are really good in brownie batter. I usually use 4 drops because I like the taste of it, especially the peppermint. 6 drops of lemon oil in apple pie. So you see the citrus oils, you're usually going to use a little bit more because it is a softer flavor. 1 drop of cinnamon in shortbread cookies. Again, cinnamon's pretty spicy, so 1 drop's pretty good. 2 drops of each cinnamon, clove, and ginger in some gingerbread cookies. So that one sounds really good. Cooking. So our hot oils and cooking, some of them anyway. Oregano, thyme, especially oregano and thyme. Lemongrass, turmeric, black pepper. We're going to want to do the toothpick method, mainly for oregano and thyme, I would say. The only way you'd probably ever mess up putting oils in your food is if you do too much oregano. I would only do maybe 1 drop, or the toothpick method for sure. And if all possible, it's good to add our oils later on in cooking, just because, especially if we're cooking at higher temperatures, or if it's going to be, we're going to be steaming. Some of that's going to actually evaporate during our cooking. So if you can add it at the end, that's even better. Obviously, if you're baking, you're usually not going to, unless it's like in your icing. But add later in the recipes if possible. So these are really good to use. Essential oils are really good to use in marinades. Especially just mix it with your olive oil or whatever you're using to marinate your meat. We use a lot of rosemary, basil, lots of rosemary and basil, and cilantro. Your citrus oils, again, ginger, just however, whatever your recipe calls for, try to make those substitutions with essential oils. These were some of the, also on the blog for the holiday themed recipes. 2 to 4 drops of rosemary and mashed potatoes, really good. Of course, if you like the look of having the herb in your food, of course, toss that in or put it on top of the mashed potatoes for a little rosemary effect. 4 drops of cinnamon in sweet potato casserole. 2 drops of thyme and black pepper in cornbread dressing. Black pepper is probably one of the easiest ones to use if you use pepper in every recipe like I do. That's great. And then 2 drops of each wild orange, lime, and lemon in our fresh cranberry sauce. So again, check out doTERRA's back office, the product blog. You see all these recipes and more, even a bunch of DIY projects, stuff for our skin, whatever you can think of. doTERRA has a recipe for it. And if you can't find something, I always love to check Pinterest. They have a lot of great recipes on there as well, or just your everyday recipes, just tweak it however you like. And then doTERRA also has an ebook for cooking with essential oils that I'll post here later. It's a lot of information, but if you like to have that on paper form, you can also print that out and save that for later. But otherwise, I hope that helps, and I hope that makes it hope I made it easy to understand how easy it is to use essential oils in cooking or baking. And don't be afraid to try it. Again, you really can't mess it up. Just be aware of your spicy oils and use less in that form. But, you know, always taste test if you need to, if you're scared to use more than a couple drops. But usually most of my recipes, I use about 4 drops. So again, really easy. And comment on the video below to be entered in this week's giveaway. And I will announce that by the end of the week. Happy Wednesday.